I saw your reaction the other night. Blew up, man.
Dude, it was crazy, man. Like it had 205 concurrent viewers, and just in like the last 24 hours, I got like almost 30 new subs, and the and currently that streams at almost 4,000 views.
Sheesh. Last I saw it was at like 2.2, 2.3. But, bro, we are live.
And
bro.
we are ladies and gentlemen, your new head coach of the Detroit Pistons, Monty
Whoa, bro, let's go.
Let's go.
Bro, hold on. First, shout out to some of the regulars. Hey, Pepega Jones, shout out to you, brother. Dwayne Pierce, shout out, man. Hey, Hell 900. What's good, man? I am so pumped right now.
Hey, Kool-Aid. Let's before we get into the hype, let's dial it back a week ago. Okay? A week ago this time, where we had to have a genuine conversation with people on this table talk about whether or not Monty Williams had genuine desire to go to Detroit. Not only did we learn that he turned out to have some interest to go in Detroit, but Kool-Aid, there were only 2 teams that he had any interest in joining. Do you know what those 2 teams were?
It's a party over here, bro.
You know what those 2 teams were?
Tell them, bro.
The Detroit Pistons and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Sean, early on in this process, I told you that there was a team that kind of scared me in this thing. It was Monty Williams, and it was the Milwaukee Bucks. That was it. I was like, look, this is not a thing or a diss against Detroit. He is, like you stated, he's really trying to spend time with his family. He don't need the money. He's getting the money from Phoenix Suns. This is about either the championship of it all or, honestly, the championship of it all. Bro, this signing is about the fact that whatever this meeting is, somebody had to tell him that, you know what? I know what you think you could do over there with Giannis. I'm telling you, you can achieve it over here. Bro.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but also there's a clear buy-in now and understanding that he can come to Detroit and build a program just like he did when he was with, back when he was with the Phoenix Suns. And, just to break it all down and to just, if people somehow are living in an alternate universe, this was broken and corroborated with our guy, James Edwards III, yesterday, and Sham Sharania. Shout out to James, man, showing yet again why he's one of the best in the business yesterday. Just got to show love to him on that. But according to Shams and James, Monty Williams of the Detroit Pistons have agreed in principle on a 6-year, $72 million deal for Williams to become the franchise's new head coach. Sources tell me and James Edwards III the deal is expected to be finalized in the coming days. And essentially the details, there's a big article detailing essentially how this process went down, how they got to this point. This was not a overnight thing. The Pistons had Monty Williams in their sights for weeks. And reportedly, as of last week, what's going on, my guy? Charles, good to see you, my man.
What's good,
What's
brother?
up, Sean? What's up, B-Dot?
But
bro,
man,
it's always good to see you, brother. Sean, my freaking phone in this charger, man. The backstory, no one will know. What's up, Charles? I love you, bro.
What's up, man?
But
me and my charger, we're at it right now.
But anyway, after interviewing Kevin Ali and Charles Lee again over the weekend, they were sitting down talking about, hey, what are we gonna do? And Tom Gores said, what about Monty Williams? What if we go back? And they went back with the biggest NBA coaching contract in the history of the league. Now, I know a lot of people get freaked out by that, but Kool-Aid, how much does the coach attribute to the salary cap?
Goose eggs, bro. This is all on the owner's pocketbook. This is all on Platinum Equity's pocketbook, man. And Oh my goodness.
The
You got to
coach, you can
understand.
spend as much as you want to spend. There is no obligation to do that, and it doesn't affect the spending on your players. So the fact that Tom Gores went out and went and got arguably the best coach in the NBA, the winning, not arguably the winningest coach in the NBA since 2021, but also a guy who has history with Troy Weaver, a guy who has backgrounds with a lot of people within this organization, and arguably was the most respected and best available candidate. So I know a lot of people were feeling a week ago that that things were doom and gloom, but Kool-Aid. What were the two things we were saying since the lottery? Be patient, and the best teams in this league do what? They make their own luck. Tom Gores went and made his own luck this week. And that's why Monty Williams is our head coach.
Yeah, and honestly, we say it like that, but it really boils down to the nuts and bolts of it all and what we've been saying. Tom Gores, as an owner, realized that it's not about how you put your hands on products, which might be how things work in his other business world, but it's about how you bring in the right people that can get the job done. And then when it's your time to do your part, when it's your time to come and sweeten the deal, make sure that, your team is playing in a good area. Make sure that you have a good arena. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that your staff is treated well. These are the things that the owner affects. And as Tom Gores has gotten a steady feel on what he can actually be, a star player at, this thing has continued to blossom. Think about all the basketball minds and all the people that have connections with Monty Williams. Arn Tellem is one of the most legendary figures in all of NBA, like really professional sports, when you're talking about his relationships with the players, with stars, man.
His
As an
history
agent
in the
for
league,
many
everything
years.
he's done.
Huh?
His history with the league, everything he's done, his overall
Yeah.
background. Like Arn Tellem's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he had some prior, relationship. Troy Weaver. We continue to talk about Troy Weaver's prowess in his relationships with, definitely getting out there on the AAU circuit, college circuit, helping usher future stars from, high school into college and such, like Carmelo Anthony, Jeremy Grant. This is Troy Weaver. But we forget. Well, he has great relationships across the league, across college, with a lot of coaches and a lot of personnel, and a lot of scouts. This is them going out and making sure that if they needed to have luck, it was just going to be a little bit, because honestly, they're doing all the right things. They're bringing in the right people. And think about this. If I'm Monty Williams, I'm scared as crap if I have an opportunity to come in here and y'all cut me loose. If something doesn't go right, what if my star player get injured? Oh, we're not going to hold you accountable for that. How do I know that? Well, one of the most respected basketball minds, not just NBA, basketball minds, and Dwayne Casey, he came here, he signed up to win now, he got us to the playoffs. We realized that's not sustainable. And so we asked him, will you make a commitment, not to coaching, though you will have a title of coach right now, but to the restore? Are you committed to getting us here? This is our timeline. This is our guideline. Now imagine how comfortable Monty Williams can be knowing I can get in here, get my feet wet, get my hands, dirty, and honestly, just go to work. I don't have to worry about if something happens. I know that the organization is going to work as a whole to move to get this thing right. That's comfortable. How they treated Dwayne Casey plays a role in what Monty Williams thinks of Detroit.
Yep. I'm sorry, Kool-Aid. Just wanted to reiterate. 6 years guaranteed at $12 million a year, with 2 years on the end as team options, meaning Monty Williams is potentially on contract with the Detroit Pistons for almost the next decade. We talked about the importance of going and getting the right guy. They went and got arguably the guy for this situation. And Kool-Aid, you put this up on the screen for me real quick, because anyone that's doubting Troy Weaver or has any questions, he did this in 3 years. Think about it.
Sean,
look at all this. 3 years.
I saw this earlier, and I like Bobby Marks. I respect him a lot. But there's nothing here that we haven't been saying for the whole season, when we've been telling people, chill. Listen, they're building
He's
something.
just
There's a
he's just telling the
foundation here.
national audience. That's the
Yep.
only difference.
Yep. And so it's comfortable to see that other people out there are recognizing now that a Monty, whoa, why would Monty Williams make this decision? It's not just about money. It's because of what we said last week and the weeks before. He has spoken glowingly about this city and about this team in the past. I think people have kind of missed some of these things prior. He's talked about this core. He knows exactly what's here. And when we get on here and talk about the leap that we think that these three could take in terms of Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and Jalen Duren, some of these people act as if we are overblowing this thing. Well, what does Monty Williams think then?
Here's
What
I
is
know.
he, if he's making this decision, what does he think about that trio?
This isn't speculation. I know this. He loves Cade Cunningham. I am not speculating. That is from a source.
Sean,
He
I'm not
loves
speculating.
Cade.
I love Cade Cunningham. That is not speculation. You can quote me on that one.
But I'm just telling you. I heard from the grapevine he loves Cade Cunningham. And so you want to talk about, again, we talk about what people think of your prospects. People can say in the media whatever the heck they want. What really matters is what people throughout the league think. And how do you tell what people really think? Well, Tom Gores just invested the most money in the history of the NBA in a coach to invest in Cade Cunningham. And not only that, but also one of the best coaches in the league just left Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and said, I'll go coach that guy. What else you want?
I think he's going to like his starting center over here a little bit better.
I literally, one of the first thoughts I had last night was going from working with DeAndre Ayton to working with Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart is going to be the most life-giving experience for that man. I tell you.
Charles, bro, he's loving this. Charles, man, brother, what's up, man?
I just love the debate, man. I just like listening, bro. You guys are great.
I appreciate you, brother.
It's always good to see you, man.
It's just a good day, man.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I mean, I'm about as excited as any Pistons fan is today. So it's it's always a good day.
Yeah, it's dope. I know you holding it down in college, man. Definitely, man. Tell the people a little bit about yourself again, just to reintroduce.
I'm a student at Bowling Green State University right now, communications major. I'm about to be a third year. Yeah, I'm an intern at Woodward Sports right now. Just kind of been writing, getting some workout. I've been writing some Pistons articles actually. I just did I did an article on if we should keep or trade the 5th pick. I did article on the Monty Williams hiring and just a bunch of stuff I've been putting out. So it's
don't
been
give
fun.
too much away, but what should they do with the pick?
I don't know. I'm torn. I think everyone. I think every fan has a different opinion on that right now. It depends on what Monty wants to do. I think he's gonna have a big say in it. If he wants to develop a young guy or if he wants to bring a veteran in to bring on what we already have. So I think it's just gonna depend. But either one, I think is gonna be great. I think the Pistons are in a really good situation right now to improve on last year, regardless. So I mean, even getting Cade back from injury, and that's obviously a big thing. Like Sean was just saying, to come from Booker and Durant and CP3 to come coach Cade, that says a lot about what Monty wants to do here. So I think a lot of us are excited about that. So I don't know. I think it's a debate right now, but I think if we keep 5, we should do. I'm targeting like Cam Whitmore's been a good prospect I've been looking at. I like Jarris Walker from Houston. He's been a really good Walker or prospect that I've been looking at. That
pre-order your Jarris Walker Pistons jerseys right now. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because I know you guys are just talking about Beef Stew and the development of Beef Stew. But if we were to go that direction of Walker, I think that would maybe hinder some Beef Stew progress a little bit. But I don't know how that would affect it. But I don't know. But I think it'd be interesting.
So there are similarities. I'm sorry, Kool-Aid. I'm just excited today. I apologize.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
So with Jarris Walker, he's more of a perimeter wing, whereas Isaiah Stewart is more of a natural big. They both can play in the interior. They both definitely, like the big thing is going to come down to whether or not Isaiah Stewart can reliably stretch the floor. Jarris Walker is already a 36% shooter in college. He has a lot of the intangibles to be solid on that end. I think the ultimate thing of if you can play those guys together or not, it's just going to come down to Isaiah Stewart's shooting. But if you looked at his form, if you look at his work, I mean, I'm betting on Isaiah Stewart's shoot. Like I'm betting on his jump shot. All I'm
I
going to
know I
say.
said I know I
Go
said it
ahead.
would be up to Monty, and I think I'm just saying that because we just gave him the largest contract in NBA history. But I think I think we can all assume he's gonna have a say in what we do with the pick. So like I said, I think it's just gonna be what he wants to do, whether he wants to develop one of those guys or bring in a veteran, which I think, I mean, we have a lot of possibilities in terms of bringing in a veteran too. Jeremy Grant reunion could be great for us right now.
Yeah.
There's been just a lot of talk about. I don't know. It'll be, like I said. I think we're in one of the best positions. I know. I saw a tweet from Kool-Aid today. I was actually laughing. I was just at work, just going through my phone. I was laughing at it. It was something about it was like a slander to Rockets fans. Like they got Ime Udoka, and we were like, oh well, here's Monty Williams. Like put a stamp on that. You guys can have Udoka. So I was laughing. I was like, yeah, that's. I mean, we literally got the best coach possible. I know. I tweeted something yesterday, and it got some controversy. I said. Before because I know we were like talking, they kind of like fought out a couple times and negotiated the contract, so it was like not official yet, but then it became official. And I tweeted beforehand. I was like, I don't know why Monty would go from 3 All-Stars to Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, but I mean, now I look at it, it's like, why wouldn't he? He has everything he could possibly want here, and he's got a 5th pick, and he's gonna have a lot of say in what we do in terms of the front office. So.
No, and bro, look, I get you. I get that perspective. One of the lines that has been very, very difficult for me to walk, especially with the coverage part of it now, is how do we actually see our players? How do we actually value them? Are they actually good or not? Because, bro, we all got caught in the Stanley Johnson, hezzy. We just all of us have been. I
He
still
drank the
love
Kool-Aid.
Andre Drummond will still pan out one day. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we all like, you know what I mean? We're all there. So it's like, is Cade Cunningham really that guy? Like, can we say that? It's been a long time since we've really drafted that guy. Then we drafted Ivy and Duran. Then they actually look good on the court. It's a little scary. And then it's like, wait, shoot, other people are saying it too. Though the top coaches are saying it too. The top players are saying it too.
I remember Cade's rookie year. Bro. I mean, he was getting praise from KD, LeBron. I mean, he's getting praise from all the big dogs. So like, it was never a surprise, and it's just crazy to see that now we're getting a coach that can finally put some recognition on Cade's name.
And
hey, John, look at this comment, bro. Let me get this one. Where's it at?
He might be the next Jordan Poole, seeing that he might be out of the league in the next couple of years. Maybe
Sean's
that.
mine, dog.
My gosh.
It's so quick, bro.
My gosh. Quick. But also another thing as well, Charles, I understand that too, of like, why would a prestige coach go from an all-star situation to a rebuilding situation? But when he took the job in Phoenix in 2019, they were a 19-win team.
Yeah.
In his first season, they got up to 37. I mean, this is, and the job before that he took was in New Orleans. So, this is, for all intents and purposes, this is what Monty Williams does. So, I think, and also, like, we talked about this a little bit too, Kool-Aid, on Table Talks before, about how one thing that could potentially work in the Pistons' favor is if they were to bring in a Monty Williams. They do have the longevity. They do have, the fact that he can come in and have time. Whereas in Milwaukee, Adrian Griffin, congratulations. If you have a disappointing season in the next year or two, he could be gone. Like, that's the reality of it. Like, Monty Williams has more cushion than anybody in the league other than Pop.
Yep. And honestly,
and Spo.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's necessarily cushion, but he has, I think, a lot more security. Yes. Like with the Bucks, their future, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to do this tango. Troy Weaver got ahead of the curve knowing CBA is changing, right? So you can't stack all these stars, which means you're going to have to rely on a lot of young talent to win and then augment with a couple of vets who just decide, you know what, Troy, you know what, Arn, you know what, Casey, I actually just like you guys. So yes, I will give you the $20 million special, like Jeremy Grant shouldn't have done, like Bojan Bogdanovic should not have done. Troy is setting this squad up moving forward to at least be able to be a viable player in this thing, from free agency to draft to the type of like high level talent they can put on the squad without having to break the bank. And that is something to honestly be very, very excited about. And if you're sitting down looking at the future, it's not that one of these guys, that the Bucks are doing it more right than the Pistons or whatnot. But if I'm the Pistons, I'm sitting down and I'm showing them that we are set up for the future. Are the Bucks as set up for the future as the Pistons? Though they have the Giannis effect, is he staying there? Do we know? Is
He's
their
a free
core
agent in
staying
a
there?
couple of
We
years and
don't
has
know.
not signed an extension yet.
And that's the thing. We do know that Cade will be here, Ivy will be here, Durham will be here. These are the guys, not the Pistons, are saying, hey, we didn't get Wemby. We've always stated it. We are not going to undercut these other guys. Cade is a number 1 overall draft pick. Period. Ivy and Durham in a redraft both go top 5. Period.
This might
Win
be
some games.
I'm not trying to interrupt you. This might be a hot take,
No,
but I mean, Cade's just as impactful to the Pistons as Wemby will be to the Spurs. I feel like. I mean,
No,
Cade
bro,
coming
said
to the
that
Pistons.
confidently. I'm tired of
Cade
our
coming
guys
to
not.
Cade coming to us year one was just as impactful as us. It would have been for us getting Wemby. I mean, Wemby's a great talent, but Cade, Cade loves Detroit. I mean, he shows love to the fans all the time. He's active at the games even when he's hurt. I mean, Ashton, everyone loves Ashton. I mean, it's just great. I mean, he's shown love to the city and he fits us. It's just better.
He's
shout out Cannon too.
Just one of those guys. He's on that short list of franchise players, difference makers, people that can make people around them better. Like he's he is the like the thing that we've been saying about him the last year. He is the straw that stirs the drink. He is the engine that makes the car go. He is the coal that makes this train go.
Chugga,
chugga, chugga, chugga. But in all seriousness, it's going to be a whole different, 100% it's going to be a whole different effect. But you talk about what he can do with Cade and Ivy both, but then you talk about Kool-Aid, how effective Monty is working with big men, what he can do with Jalen Duren, and how much he can take those guys to the next level too. I'm just excited to see it. It's just going to be.
Check this out. So we all like friendly competition, right? You know what I'm saying? Think about this. Troy Weaver ain't even got to spend his money yet, dog. Tom Gores over there like, bro, look what I did. Look what I did, Troy. What you about to do? Get busy. That's like realistically, this move right here, the Pistons can't sit by. Like we already talked about the ticking time, right? All right. What's happening with Killian? What's happening with Stu? What's happening with these guys whose contracts? Wiseman too. There are decisions that have to now be acceleratedly made. Are you keeping these guys? Draft night's coming, right? Some of these guys we're still hoping to develop. Are there prospects on the board right now that can play a role? Like
the equation also changes too now that you have Monty in, because not only, Charles, like he brought up, you have a guy who's going to have significant say. He's the guy that has a deep relationship with Troy Weaver. He's a guy that has, he's going to have a significant pull in the front office. This isn't like Stan Van Gundy where he's running the organization, but they're going to certainly talk to him before things happen. So for guys, to Kool-Aid's point, like Marvin Bagley, like James Wiseman, like Killian Hayes, their futures are going to come down to, are they Monty Williams guys? Yes or no? And that's, and to your point, that's what could accelerate that decision without a doubt.
Yeah. And look, before we go to this next phase, the potential of Gores, Weaver, and Williams, because we're kind of all dancing and talking around it, who they're going to be, what that power structure could look like, what their roles are going to be. We don't quite know, but we know that triumvirate is going to be very, very much involved with everything that the Pistons do going forward. And I think that that's a good thing, especially if they all stay in their respective lanes like they are. But Jalen, bro, listen, man, he is the king of the faces on this table talk. And this everything I've been reading, it's like, yo, I'm gonna just sit patiently. When it's my turn, I'm just going in.
He just says so much by saying nothing at all. It's great. We can just babble on, but Jalen will just sit there like, or, and it says way more than what I did.
Yo, what's going on, y'all?
My man.
Bro,
Good to
it's good
see
to
ya.
see you, man. Bro, we're
How
geeks.
you feeling? The floor is yours.
Look how he's
Man,
still.
Give
he's
us
still in
that.
shot.
Give us that CEO talk, my guy. We're
He's
in
going
your
crazy on
office.
YouTube.
We're in your
that
office. This
too.
What
as
up?
a,
No,
as a
Jalen.
fellow executive, you know this is some boss, right?
He's been going crazy on YouTube.
You know
Hey,
that's some
man.
boss, right?
Hey man, what time was it? Like 11 o'clock or so? I think when it happened.
It was like it
10:40
was
or
at like
something?
9:30.
So I was going to see the new Spider-Man premiere, right?
Man,
And I'm like,
is it good by the way?
it was amazing. I'm
I'm
like,
Sunday. I'm there. Believe me.
if he gets hired, I'm gonna do my video before I leave. He got hired at like 11 or so. Did the video, I'm shooting around. I'm in the house screaming. I'm jumping up and down. I think it was. I told you I was smiling the whole night. I couldn't believe it. It was probably one of the brighter things that has happened in the last 10 years or so. Being a Piston fan, I think it's good for the city. I don't. It's just happy to see some type of upside and like confidence because we haven't had that in a while. So for me, I'm locked in. I think it's just gonna be amazing too. And then I can say like I was big on the Kevin Ali. I thought that was a done deal, from what we were seeing on Twitter and the Instagram post that he
On
made and stuff.
Tuesday, it was literally 1-1 from the Vegas odds that it was going to be Kevin Ali.
I
1-1.
kept telling people, man, where's Money Train James at? I kept telling people, man, stay patient. The whole
It's crazy because the Instagram post he
Monty.
made, you thought it was locked in, but then they offer Monty, Tom Gores.
And Kevin
And-
Ali finished third. Which I mean, like,
By
not
the
that
way,
matters.
Tom Gores, it's about time. It's about time.
Not
Tom Gores.
that matters, but it's just inherently fascinating when you hear for so long, and whether it's a smoke screen, whether it's genuinely real, which listen, I think there was some genuine interest from Troy Weaver. I believe that. You know what I mean? But right here, Kool-Aid was leaking info.
Hey,
He
shout out
was,
MCJ,
man.
boy. Hey, Rod is a legend. I'm just gonna keep saying that, man. Rod Beard, Detroit News. Shout out to him. Everything he does for the channel and the platform, everything he just does for us, man. He's just a good person in general, man. So
Where were
shout out
y'all
to
at
him.
when it happened, though? Where were y'all at when they announced it or when y'all first seen the tweet? I was in my room playing the game, actually.
I was taking a
honestly
shit.
preparing an article. I would start writing. And then the news broke. We were like, Sign sent me the stream link. I was like, I can't even jump on. I'm so sorry. But
I was
knew it
like,
gonna-
I had
knew it
to,
was gonna
like,
go.
I was in the bathroom. I had to rush my ass. I was like getting to the stream as quickly as I could. I was, wiping vigorously, and
Vigorously is a
it was
crazy
wild.
word, man.
Dude,
That's
it
a
was
crazy
man.
word, dog.
Dude, over 200 people were in there concurrent. It was
Thank
wild.
y'all for supporting,
Y'all
man.
were crazy,
Great
man.
content.
Thank you so much for the love and support. That stream was unreal. One of my
Vigorously.
personal highlights so far on the channel, man. Mad love to everyone that came through. If you haven't watched it yet, it's still up to go watch my instant reactions after we hired Monty Williams. But it's so funny, man. We literally recorded an episode of From Half Court on Monday that I want to drop, but it's all of it's already outdated because we talked about Miami and Boston game 7, and I talked about there's no way Boston's going to screw this up. They screwed it up. And then we're talking about the coaching search and how there's no update, and I'm like, guys, I still think Monty Williams can happen. And Troy and Jeff go, it's going to be Kevin Ali. That ship has sailed. I just don't think. And I'm like, I don't know. Mark Stein said the Pistons haven't lost hope. I was called a madman.
People told me I was getting people's hopes up. I was like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, if you just present this thing the right way. Remember about a month ago when my tune started changing, I was like, look, guys, I don't think we're looking at this the way that at least the organization is. They believe in the guys that they've drafted. Troy Weaver ain't sitting back like, oh, shucks. I drafted Brandon Knight. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I drafted Sekou Doumbouya. Nah, he's sitting back like, yo, bro, I literally drafted Cade Cunningham. I literally drafted Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren. I wish I could have gotten, like, some fuel on the fire with Wemby. But let's go. Y'all are healthy. Cade got the surgery. Let's go. And pick number 5, whether they trade it, whether they keep it, I think that they're still going to wind up with some extra picks in this draft. There's talent all through this draft. There are like specialists. There are people who specifically fit their needs. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what Troy is going to do because he's giving himself every single avenue. He can go in there and trade, sign, pick and then trade, have somebody else pick and then trade for that player like Jalen Duren last year. Like Troy Weaver's giving himself every single opportunity, every single lane, every single option to be able to go out there and absolutely turn this thing over on his head. And I can't wait because every year, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, is he not turning over the roster by like 5 and 6 and 7 players
100%.
every year? And then bringing in a $20 million a year player like Grant and then Bojan?
And that's going to be accelerated even more so with bringing in a guy like Monty, because now, I mean, you talk about, like what their roles are going to be, like what their, like what this is going to look like. I mean, just the fact that alone there's Arn Tellem, John Beeline, Troy Weaver, Dwayne Casey, Monty Williams, like those are just 6 of the people within your organization. That's not counting all the other people that we're not even mentioning. That doesn't even bring up Ben Wallace, who's in the front office. That doesn't bring up the other people that they have within the organization. Like seriously, and like I just, when you look at the picture and the totality, we just have a room, like whoever makes the decision, it's a room full of basketball people. And it's a room full of basketball people not making decisions for the fear of their jobs, not making decisions for just winning now. They're making decisions for what's best for the Pistons today and going forward. And the beauty of it is they're all going to be here for a long time.
Yep. It's what they say, that the commitment was to the restoration, to restore fully. And when you look at the bad boys, we talked about it, their rebuild from Isaiah Thomas to championship was what, like 7, 8, 9 years. In between Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars was 3 or 4 years. Trader Jack had his hands full because after they drafted Isaiah Thomas, they had a couple years that looked like the Pistons' last couple years with Cade Cunningham. So it's like it wasn't all just roses. And we look at these guys at the end of it, right? And we talk about Trader Jack, right? We talk about Daddy Rich, man. Chuck Daly, shout out to him. We talk about we talk about Mr. Davidson. We talk about these people because we understand that they were behind 2 of the best championships of all time in the NBA. I don't care what anybody says. It's not just 2 of like Michigan's best championships. Those bad boy championships are 2 of the best ever. What they had to do to overcome during that era, what they had to do, the slugfest that they had to get through in those Eastern conferences, nah, bro. That was a masterful job, masterful championships, man. And they did their thing. And so it's like having that type of a patience, factoring in this kind of injury year where everyone was injured, even the people who weren't injured were listed as injured. Bojan, Burks, Stu. You know what I mean? Like Stu was injured. He hurt his shoulder, but there was a period in time where he could have played through it. But they were like, just chill, bro. Just chill. When you kind of take that year out and then they convince Monty and they're convinced themselves, like we keep telling you, that this last year was just aberration. Look, we got our development. We're back on track. We want to win. We want to compete. We want to play in. No matter what we think, no matter what the opponents, no matter what critics, no matter what the media thinks, the Pistons from the front office to the coach to the players consistently have said the same thing. And that's, nah, man, we're trying to win. Like, we're better than this. We're not losers. We're supposed to be winning. We got a lot of top talent on this team. That's what I want to hear. We've consistently said it, this whole Monty hire. Don't just sit back and just be like, Oh, we didn't get the number 1 pick. Skip that, man. You guys said you're serious. Y'all sold us on these. Don't hit me upside the head with the t-shirt. But then when it's time to be serious, you guys are packing up and going home. It was like, let's go out there and do this. And when you punch this ticket on Monty, then go out there and do the rest of it, man. Have your players go out there and be the stars they're supposed to be. And I think that Monty's the type of coach. I wanted to get your take on this, Sean. That's why I had this one up here. That can unlock a lot of these guys.
Oh, 100%. His whole offensive scheme is the 0.5 offense, which specifically means have the ball in your hands and make a decision in 0.5 seconds. Or if you're going to shoot it, if you're going to pass it, whatever you're going to do. He knows how to make really good specific in-game adjustments. And another thing as well that like I kind of want to like a narrative that I kind of want to squash is, you know, like Brian Windhorst. I saw him and listen, I love Brian Windhorst. I'm going to preface it with that. Like he knows more about basketball on his pinky toe than I'll ever know in my entire life with all the connections and everything that he has. However, he was asked, and like there is like a common belief that this, you know, I saw people saying this reeks of desperation, or when the money gets so high, the best decision for your family in verses is the quote that Brian said, and he inferred that Monty didn't want the job, which is just not true. And you know, like whether you know, like and listen, like people can scoff at the numbers, they can say, oh well, like he just is looking at the money, which yes, certainly Monty's attention was certainly raised by the money and the offer that was shown. But also, don't think that Monty Williams, especially when he has $21 million still coming to him from the Phoenix Suns, and very well could have gotten an offer next offseason to still be the highest paid coach in the league, could have gone and gotten his pick of the litter. Like just saying. The fact that he said yes, by no means was this a desperation move. What by no means was this a money grab. This is a perfect marriage.
I think so too. For those who don't know, like Monty, how we kind of do, he's joined 2 rebuilds before us anyway. So you had to start the Hornets and everything. Chris Paul.
Hey, speak on it, bro.
I'm not gonna say that was a rebuild because I don't know what year he was exactly there, but they weren't the best team. You had D Book. They were terrible. They had Dragon Bender was a lottery pick. He fell off the face of the earth. He went over there. Every day moved up. He comes over here. A lot of young stars. Him and Cade are probably going to be great together from what I can see what he did with Chris Paul and D Book and things like that. But it's just people talking about money. Like Sean said, he could have sat out 2 seasons, maybe 3. It's Monty Williams. He's not super old. He can still coach. He has a success. He's won Coach of the Year 2 times in a row. One like for the league and one for like a different thing. But like it's Monty Williams.
4 years.
If he wanted to be, he would be with Giannis right now.
Making guap too.
If he wanted to be, that would have been his job.
We have the best I think the best scenario for him, you know, like we keep saying about the Bucks, if they don't win the next 1 or 2 years, Giannis could leave, like we keep saying. Here we have a lot of young stars, we got draft picks, we got Kay Cunningham, Doran Ivy. God knows what else we're gonna get in the next few months or so. And it's Monty Williams. We've seen him make young teams into super teams, man. Like you've seen what happened with Phoenix. He got Mikal Bridges playing like an all-star, you know, stuff like that. Is just, I think it's the money was never like the major problem. I mean, yeah, people like seeing dollar signs. You don't get it twisted, but
people like the respect of being the highest paid coach in their profession. People like the stability.
Yeah, having that, but like the money was already there. He's already getting paid from, you know, the Phoenix and whatnot, you know. So I'm happy because I feel like he fits the mold out of anybody that could have, you know, took the role. You know.
Yep. And for me, I believe that the money realistically is about how serious are you. Like it's the Detroit Pistons, and that's not a diss. This is okay. For a long time, you all have tried to do certain things. You guys have attempted certain things. Now you're saying that you're actually real. When you look at these other kind of programs that are in the NBA, the Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, or some of them, you look at what they pay, you look at how the structures are, and it's very similar. That's why I mean, Pop obviously is going to be paid for what he's done over the years. He deserves a lot. There was a lot of years when Pop was probably underpaid, so he deserves every bit of it. Obviously, Monty Williams is passing him. but it's because of what he's going to be paid to do. He's supposed to lead this team to championship at least, and he's supposed to build a program that's going to be sustainable for 10, 20, 25 years. This is his job. And to do it, honestly, as one of the best people you can be at the same time. And that to me is you can't ask for anything more.
And
What's up,
the other
Sean?
thing as well is just it's also just resetting the market as far as like the coaches' salaries. I think you're going to see over the next I think this is just a trend that you're going to see, very similar to like how coaches like Sean Payton are getting the Uber bag, how guys like in the NFL like those contracts just keep the market just keeps getting set and reset. Like for all intents and purposes, that's really what happened here, right? So and again, that's the type of investment you make when you get a known, proven commodity, a guy, which by the way, little fun trivia time. What was the name of the coach he replaced in Phoenix? Igor Kokoshov or Kokoskov.
Oh man, I knew that. I knew it was just
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't know it.
I didn't know
Slipped
that.
right off. He was a 1-year coach who's currently an assistant in Brooklyn.
Woo.
But that's who we replaced in Phoenix and got a 15-win increase. And listen, with all due respect to guys, like as good of a hire as a guy like Ime Udoka is for Houston, and in a vacuum could have been in Detroit. The reality of it is Ime Udoka, for all intents and purposes, is still a rookie. He's an unknown commodity who was able to inherit Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown from day one. I'll take the guy who takes nickels and turns them into dollars, similar to Troy. Like DMV born and raised, similar to him, long time relationship and connection there, cut from the same cloth. I'll take that.
Sean, it's like for 2 years, man. This thing is we're getting some numbers on here. But we've been stating for a long time that Troy's relationships matter. They matter. Like, you can't overstate it with him. With other GMs, it might not matter as much. You hear things, people say things, but Troy Weaver is a guy who's consistently shown he's going to rely on the relationships he's made. And I think that that's honestly a good thing to do, because I don't want somebody who's just talking somebody up to me. I want to know the real. I want to know the person. I'm a GM. I'm in charge of the personnel that's coming in here to win. And I'm going to be blamed or I'm going to be praised for what happens. So it's like, I'm glad too that Gores trusts him enough, Arntel and his crew trust him enough to say, you know what, Troy, we're gonna let you do your thing. Because I know that a lot of people are sitting here talking about, well, Gores opened up the Brinks truck. Sure, he did that. But do you all understand how much Troy Weaver's relationship with the coach would have to matter?
It makes the conversation possible. It's what makes, yes, they look at the basketball side of it. They see the young talent. They see the pieces that they like. But the reality of it is the other reason why they know that they want to go there, and the reason why they can be successful there, is because the people in the top not only share their vision, but they were the ones that helped me build that vision. These guys were together in Oklahoma City. These guys, they share basketball philosophy. So when you have someone that you already know thinks the way that you think, and you can see the product and the fact that he has been able to, in a short period of time, bring in a lot of talent, when you can have the results, but also the relationships to back it. I mean, Troy Weaver is one of the most respected scouts or eyes in the NBA as far as talent goes. Monty Williams might be the most respected person in the NBA, period.
And that was after who? Dwayne Casey. And you know what's interesting?
Another respected person in the NBA.
Yep. And what's interesting here is this. How do we get Troy Weaver? And who did Troy Weaver credit? Dwayne Casey. He talked about it. Like, Troy Weaver was not necessarily comfortable. You remember some of the reports at first about Detroit. He just wasn't. He didn't have the perspective. He said that Dwayne Casey, who was already here and was a class act, was like, no, listen, man, this city's something great. Casey is not just lying. He's not just kind of telling y'all stuff just to try and get. No, he and his wife are committed to the city. They just are. And their ability to kind of know the city, know some of the people, some of the suburbs, those things matter, man. And Troy was like, yo, remember at the exit interviews? He talked about that. When we moved here, Casey and his family were great to us. This made a difference in their decision. Now, all of a sudden, you got Monty Williams, who's able to sit here and honestly rely on the same thing, the relationships already and the people within the organization. That's a plus.
Look at what Monty Williams was able to do with Robert Sarver as his owner, with the dysfunction that was the Phoenix Suns. People forget when he came to the Phoenix Suns, they were the equivalent. I viewed them as far as how they were going in a similar vein as the Detroit Lions in the NBA, in the sense that they had years where they looked good, they had some promise. Don't get me wrong, they had a pretty decent history. Man, it was getting ugly in the 2010s. When they lost Steve Nash for a long time, they lost their way. But also, you look at what Monty Williams is able to do with all the dysfunction, with the Robert Sarver situation, with the instability at the top of the organization. Can you imagine what he can do now that he's lock in step and has that full buy-in, but also is going to have a full say? Because let's be honest, in Phoenix, it was a freaking coin flip as to who had the basketball say there. Monty didn't really have much of an input. He's going to be one of the most respected voices in this organization now. Imagine what that can do. Imagine what that can do, like with like unleashing him for all intents and purposes.
And I don't think Monty's like scared of a lot of things, like player wise. Like the dude's been through a lot, from what we've seen or we've heard. I think he's a strong individual. I think people listen and respect him. It's shown over the years. And like you said, in Phoenix, I don't think that was his choice, to trade the team and do all that stuff. But, that's what happened in Phoenix. But here, Troy trusts him and people are going to listen to him. You're not going to have a coach that they're going to be confused about, how you had in Brooklyn with Steve Nash coaching those guys. And like, you just got them playing against me 2 years ago, like things, it's funny, but like, that's how players look at things, So him being here, they're going to listen, they're going to play, and he's going to make sure all 12 men on that active roster opening night are going to be set and ready to win, I think.
I'm sorry. I just watched Jokic push down Cody Zeller like a rag doll. It was just way too funny. No. It was like, oh man, watching Cody Zeller try to guard Jokic. I mean, buddy. Not to get off topic, but it's just funny. Anyway.
Bro, you know what's funny? All the talk, man, about Detroit and Phoenix over the last few years was all this flirtation about DeAndre Ayton. I think we can toss that out the window.
I think that's funny. I feel comfortable saying that's not going to happen.
No. Don't even mention that guy. No.
For what? I think Monty would walk back the deal if you even brought up the
Monty
idea.
Monty would be at home probably golfing right now.
You can keep the money, man. I'm out.
I'm out, bro. DeAndre Ayton, man.
I don't want any DeAndre Ayton's. No.
What if that's what it was, man? The Bucks have like the secret plan to bring in DeAndre Ayton, and he was just like, "Oh my goodness, nope."
I won't even blame him.
I'm
this
there.
Will get him to come for sure.
Hey, you saw MTJ. Look, I remember we talked about Ayton, and we were like, you know what, it could work. We were like, is there some other options? When we got Durham, we were like, yeah.
Listen, man, we said it could work, but we threw a metric ton of qualifiers in there. We were like, it would have to be under the right circumstances. Ayton would have to be really close with Cade. It would have to get the right coach to mentor him and walk him along.
Too many.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton. For what?
For what? I don't know. I think the trade on Twitter with him, and they were like, we'll trade Cade, Doran, and stuff. I was like, are you crazy? And the dude said, "Let me cook" in his description. I gotta send it to you, Kool-Aid. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I saw a quote that said "Never cook again."
You full Uncle Eldon now, bro. He said what?
It was DeAndre. I'm about to pull it up. I got it.
Man, it was DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul.
2004 champion.
Or it was DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul, or Jaden Ivey, Bojan Bogdanovic, Alec Burks. Like, it was like a stupid trade. I think Jalen
Wiseman,
Duren was in
Bogey,
there.
Why are
and
people
Bagley.
wasting their time with this stuff? What in the world, bro?
Dude,
Man, y'all could have
the trade
actually spent
machine
the
is the
time getting
worst thing to ever
sunlight or
happen to
something.
the internet. It's the worst thing to happen to the internet. It really is. A lot
I'll
of
let
2K
Sean handle
players
this
think they're
one.
GMs over here.
I'll let Sean handle this one.
All the streamers cannot do lives at the same time.
There used to be Uno.
But yeah, there used to be one.
All right.
I mean, this is the OG too. But anyway,
I love Jalen, dog. His face
the
is
number one
everything.
thing.
Because I
The number one thing is that you look at the overall outlook in the big picture of where the franchise is at. I know a lot of people are going to go and like immediately are hyped and think we're going to take it to the next step immediately next year. And like, you know, like, does this, like, as far as the win total and the expectations from that side of things, I don't know if that changes that much for next year. However, it sure as heck makes you optimistic that you can really start to take a jump. What do you guys think?
I look, bro. I've consistently thought about this squad, and I don't know, man. I'm a little bit more bullish on them, especially with Monty Williams, his ability to kind of unlock these players. I'm kind of bullish on him, and I think that Cade Cunningham, that 4-point game in Boston, coming off of those 3 games where he was absolutely working teams. Cannon said that he wanted to get back on the court then, but the Pistons were like, look, if you do this surgery right now, we can have you back by the offseason. He's going to be ready to go. He's not trying to be forgotten. He's not trying to go out there to make sure people know who he is, but they're trying to win.
He's
Seeing
been
them like,
cleared to do basketball activities since round 1.
yeah, it's like, bro, seeing their faces, like being in those press conference rooms, I tell Rod this all the time. It's different seeing their face. They're not lying. When you see them, even like right after their session, like they're for real. Like these guys want to win. They want to win. Ivy was just in a freaking March Madness. Kay was just the man in college. They're trying to win. These guys aren't trying to come here and just loaf. It ain't about the money for them. A lot. You think it's about the money for Jaden Ivey? Think about it. It's
That
not
guy,
about the money
you
for
got to
Ivy.
get that guy to get out of the gym, dude. Like, his work ethic is unreal.
That's what I'm saying. It's like these guys are really serious about saying, you know what, let's go out there. And you know what? The last time I saw young players with that type of kind of like, no, we are it, irregardless of what other people thought. Honestly, it was that kind of LeBron class. There were a lot of people who said things about LeBron, Wade, and Bosh and Melo. People weren't at the time saying that it was what it was going to be. That's the reason why you can have a lot of people talking about Tate Darkaway number 2. That's how you can have that. That's the reason why you can have that. There wasn't a lot of people out there going and saying, oh, this is it. But those guys continue to talk and continue to carry themselves. Like, we don't care. We don't new guard. Remember, even some of the older coaches at some of the All-Star games, at some of the Olympics, tried to hose them. Shout out Larry Brown. But it was just different, almost as if they're not the guys yet, but they continue to carry themselves like we are, though.
2004.
And I'm hoping, Cade, Ivy, Duren, I'm hoping these guys, man, have this persona on them the same way that Tom Gores said, what are you talking about? Of course, with the Detroit Pistons, you have to sign here. What do you mean? Like, I hope they carry that. Like, yo, we're out here to bust every team that's stepping out on this court. I want that Cade. I want it's clutch time. Everybody knows what the deal is. The frick out the way. Like, I'm man, why can't, oh my gosh. Fast forward to October, dog. I'm so ready to just see this thing work because they're telling us that they're going to be serious. If it fails, it's going to be painful, but let's get this show on the roll. Like, I'm so ready for it, man. And I can't even contain it. Like, I'm ecstatic, man.
I mean, there's no way this goes like all the way off the rails because of the steady hands that you have to guide them through this, right?
I'm just trying to be fair.
And that's why you made the move to go get Monty. That's why you went and did what you did. It's, you know, like even if this team underperforms expectations next year, there's investment and there's a long-term buy-in to this project. That's what you need.
I'm ecstatic, brother. I like this potential of Gores, Weaver, and Williams. They're locked in for, like you said, 6 to 8 years. This thing is about a championship. This is not like I heard Tim Hardaway and those guys talking about some, oh nah, you hire Monty Williams, you ain't winning no championship. But it's good for them. They just want to make the playoffs. Hold on, bro. I'm sorry. Tom Gores knows how to buy playoff appearances. We've done that. This is not just about making the playoffs, or else
We were the
wouldn't just
kings
make
of
the playoffs.
that.
Like, yeah, we made the playoffs twice within the last 5 or 6 years, right? 6 years. We made the playoffs. Like that, or 7 years, I think. We've made the playoffs. They can do that. And how did it feel? We were in there watching us get our teeth kicked in by Cleveland, and we were trying as Detroiters saying stuff like, we played tough. That was the toughest time, man. We just didn't have
the
that.
ones that gave Cleveland the hardest time that playoff.
And I was one of them. I was one of them.
The toughest sweep I didn't see.
I was one of them. It's just like, you know what? Skip that. Get that out of here. Let's do this thing the right way, man. Like, and that's what I see here. This commitment here to know that they're saying, okay, we're pressing start on this. But Sean, bro, we've seen them press start on other things that they thought they were confident on. And all of us were sitting around like, this ain't it. But all of us know, we're like, whoa. Everybody from the fans to the front office, I think everyone's cautious, like, this could be it. This is not when they rolled out Greg, Josh Smith and Drummond and like, yeah, we got our big three. It was
This isn't the days. This isn't
Charlie
the days.
D and Ben Gordon. Like, no.
This isn't the days of trading for Avery Bradley and having a giant introductory press conference for it.
We were so hyped, bro. We were so pumped up for
Avery Bradley. One of the best shooting guards from last year's playoffs. And then he was dog. He got us Blake.
Avery Bradley, bro. That's one. Sean, you're mine, bro. Avery Bradley, dog. As soon as you said it, though, it was like a flood of memories came in, like the
man.
Matrix.
It's like I remember the Avery Bradley acquisition. I remember. Do you remember how they used to do those like same like "Welcome to Detroit" graphics? It always like made you go, please don't put an all-star in this. You know what I mean? It's like oh my gosh, they've stepped up their game on the graphic side now. Shout out to the Pistons. Like I just remember seeing "Welcome to Detroit" Ersan Ilyasova, and I was just like,
oh, that was so disgusting.
I'm so numb.
Sheesh, bro. John Lure.
Oh,
you remember when that was heralded?
Yeah, when we lured to Detroit, when that was one of the best sneaky off-season signings.
I'm about to get mad again.
We got Monty, guys. We're good.
Man,
yeah, I mean, I saw someone say this earlier. Like, I saw someone say, like, this is the happiest I've been since I got Kate. This is about, in my opinion, this is about as big of an acquisition as getting Cade Cunningham. I mean, no BS. I tweeted this before the news dropped. I felt this way before it was even a possibility that he could be our coach. Monty Williams is my favorite coach in basketball.
Like, we talked about it. Remember when Pistons Mexico brought it up, and we were like, Monty Williams. I was like, look, y'all know I love Willie Green, but you've been talking about Monty Williams every time we talk about Devin Booker, CP3, and those guys. We sat here. It was like, yeah, but Pistons,
You're like,
that's not even possible.
Coach like Monty Williams, a guy in that elk, but he's never going to be available. Who would be dumb enough to fire him? Thanks, Matt Ishbia.
You talking about the Pistons jersey sponsor?
Hey, like I said, we should all be sending flowers, lunch. We should be sending super nice, like we should be sending like candy baskets.
What's
like
we
should be sending
UWM?
like
Give them 5-star ratings online.
And they have a nice gym in there.
UWM with like thank you cards, with like pictures of like Matt Ishbia, like saving an orphanage or something. Like, he's practically helping the Pistons right now.
Well, you be cook up the graphic, man.
Oh man.
Like instead of that graphic of Tom Gores throwing the t-shirt, I saw someone edit with him throwing money. You could have one of Matt you could have one of
I didn't see that
Matt
one yet.
Ishbia throwing Monty Williams.
I didn't see that one yet, bro.
I think this one also hits more because they said that he said no at first, or the offer wasn't whatever they said at first as he rejected it. So like as Pistons fans, we were like, all right, whatever. But that's out the window. And then yesterday morning, they pop out with it. Okay, cool. And then before midnight, he signs with us. That's why I think it was cool, because they said he wasn't coming here. Like the reports were saying, the rumors were he wasn't coming here, and he signed. That's why I think it was much, much more than just like a regular coach signing, because they said he wasn't coming here, but he did.
Well,
Think about when Adrian Griffin signed, though. Think about when that was announced. Like, you got to think, like, I don't, just the way things look, I think that they were just working through details. A contract of that size, of that magnitude, I don't believe that this decision was made yesterday. Like, I just don't. I feel like this was
reportedly
something
made
they've been
Monday.
talking through.
Had to be in talks.
It was reportedly made Monday. It sounds Monty Williams, from what we heard, Tom Gores reached out to him and showed him, initially showed him the offer on Sunday, sent a plane out to Phoenix for him personally. That evening, Monty Williams was in Tom Gores' living room. Like, you want to know how serious this guy was? Within the day, he was in Tom Gores' house in LA.
Sean, we got people just naming Pistons legends now, bro.
Man.
Check.
Pistons legend Carlos Delfino.
Oh my! Hey,
I rock with Dale. I rock with Dale,
Carlos
bro.
is tough.
Pistons legend Jason Maxiel. Pistons legend Mehmet Okur. Pistons legend Charlie Villanueva. Pistons legend Austin Day. Pistons legend Kyle Singler. Pistons legend Jonas Jerebko. Pistons legend Rodney Stuckey. Should we keep going? Guys, better days are ahead. We're here.
I said Ronald Dupree, the dunker, bro.
Ronald Dupree was tough. He used to catch every
Pistons legend Darvin Ham.
Ronald Dupree was tough, bro. Shout out to you, man. Whoever said that. That's a good one.
Did you say he was a knockoff Darvin Ham, Sean?
No, I said Pistons legend Darvin Ham.
Darvin.
I like Duncan Darvin.
It's so weird to see him coaching.
Oh,
it's like, what the hell? Makes me feel old.
Bro, there's just something awesome about knowing we zapped the last bit of T-Mac's career, especially after I was talking about this today over at Woodward when T-Mac was talking all that. Oh, it's so nice to finally get to the second round of the playoffs. Felt so nice to finally get out of the first round back when him in Orlando was up on the Pistons. And then Chauncey Billups went ham, bro. Does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember that series way back when T-Mac was talking greasy? Look, he was saucing us.
That was 2003, right?
Yeah. It was the year before.
2003, and guess who coached that team?
Who did?
Doc Rivers.
By the way, Monty Williams also played with Ben Wallace in Orlando back in the day. On top of that, Monty Williams and Ben Wallace were teammates in Orlando back in the day. And on top of that, from what I've heard as well, one of Monty's top assistants worked with Cade at Oklahoma State as well. So
those connections continue to just. Pistons have basketball people now.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. I love it. I love it.
By the way, for anyone wondering how the finals is going, this is from Ryan Russillo. Denver's up 17. Jokic, 3 field goals attempted.
How many assists
Is
and rebounds?
it Aaron Gordon? It has to be Aaron Gordon.
Jokic has 10 points, 10 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 of 3 shooting. Jamal Murray has 18. Aaron Gordon has 14. Michael Porter Jr. has 10.
Bro, can they just loan us Jamal Murray?
The guy's a bona fide bucket, dude. It's insane. Death, taxes, and Jamal Murray's making a big shot somewhere. It's unreal. Like the guy's just ready for big time basketball. You know how like players like their averages go down when it gets to the playoffs? Like him and Jimmy Butler just get to a different level when it's playoff time. I love it. But anyway,
You see some of these names, bro? Amir, Chuck Levitt.
Luigi, I remember that one.
Luigi,
Walter,
tell me.
It
where's
was
the Walter
Luigi
Herman
time, man.
We gotta get the Walter Hermans in there.
Will Bynum. I loved Will Bynum, dude. Adored Will Bynum. And anyone, hold on. I want to see how well the audience knows me. Name my favorite Pistons backup point guard of all time. Let's see how well they know me. Let's see it. I think someone already said it.
Let me see.
Someone already said it. I'm impressed. 313 Sports Guru. Congratulations.
But I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put up what your favorite backup point guard actually is. David Jones. No, I'm just playing. Carlos Arroyo.
The man, the myth, the legend. Carlos or also
legend.
Lindsey Hunter. Shout out Lindsey Hunter.
Yo, what were the shoes that he had? Those Carlos Arroyos. What brand did he have?
I forgot. Let me look it up.
Supreme or Dada's or something?
Do you guys see the video of like Carlos Arroyo just like hooping in a YMCA?
Going
He was
crazy.
just so this handles like it was like, bro, he could just sauce. You couldn't really defend him. He
They
kind of
could do
defended himself. What'd you say?
They could do nothing. Like they did everything they did everything they could.
Hey,
He
Smush
literally
Parker.
said in the middle of hooping with him, "Y'all better Google me."
I
I remember
remember
that video.
Hold on, I just found it. We're watching it for the shits and giggles because this is way too good. We got to see Carlos Arroyo hoop before we close it out. Ladies and
People
gentlemen,
are flooding us with these legends, man.
ladies and gentlemen,
All right, let me
the
get this
point
up here.
god, Carlos Arroyo. Look at this man.
Saucy,
He's like
bro.
Marshall Matters on the basketball court. Google me. Y'all gotta Google me. Look at this guy, man. He's a hooper. His handles were underrated. I'm just saying. Yeah, he was out here destroying folks. Destroying folks. Shout out Carlos Arroyo. Anyway, guys, I think we've covered about as much territory as we possibly can on this topic. But guys, here's the beauty of it.
I'm excited.
We get to talk about Monty Williams as our head coach for at least the next 6 years. And that is a damn good thing. With that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. The message to those at home, be patient, be faithful. Best teams in the league make their own luck. And with that, be sure you follow my guys on social media, Jalen at JalenHTV. But go and check out the CEO's office. 5 episodes up now. Be sure and go check them out. You can check out my guy Brandon at Detroit Kool-Aid, all the work he's doing on WoodwardSports.com, but also all the great content he's helping produce on the channel here at Woodward Pistons. You're going to want to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the latest and greatest from the channel. But Kool-Aid, before we close it out, is there anything you want to say?
Bro, I'm just excited. Definitely be tuned in to Woodward Sports tomorrow. We're gonna have some content. Woodward Pistons gonna try and go live as well. Just have some fun, man. Have some fun. We got Darren and some other guys who might want to jump on and just say what up. So I'll definitely make sure everybody got the links. We'll try and do like a special, if we get the time, a special table talk live early. So definitely be tuned in, be locked in. We just want to have some fun. But overall, just continue to be patient. The restore this summer right now is just about getting to now the draft, which has gone from kind of like a little bit of a sour note to somewhere we're just like, oh yeah, let's go. Who's Monty Williams about to coach up now? Like it's a little bit different now. Or is Troy Weaver about to cook? Like
he's gonna cook.
I'm just excited.
He's gonna cook. I saw one question in here. When's Monty's presser?
That
he still has to technically finalize the contract. I would wager we'll get an announcement by either tomorrow or early next week. I'd expect a formal presser mid to late next week.
Yeah, bro. Look, I reached out the Pistons PR today, and I was like, "Look, man, I don't know if I missed the email or anything. I am just trying to make sure I don't miss any aspect of this Monty Williams presser. Let me know." Homie hit me back. He was like, "No, bro. Look, we don't move that quick." I was like, I know. I'm a little bit ahead of myself. I'm just ecstatic." He was like, "We all are," and it's cool to hear that from them. That everybody's excited about this thing. I can't wait. I
Yep.
can't wait.
Allegedly.
Definitely will update you guys.
Allegedly, because it still hasn't gone through yet. No, I'm kidding. But I'm just saving the Pistons PR's butt. No, I'm kidding. But no, thank you all so much for tuning in.
Let's rock.
Thank you for joining the Table Talk, the OG live weekly talk show here on YouTube. We'll see you guys next time right here from Table Talk. Be sure you are subscribed.
Hey, definitely, man.